Ron Kuley is our next speaker, to be followed by John Nemick, Clark Slaymaker, Matthew Lopez, Jeffrey Loach, and then Vicky Cameroon.
Good afternoon. The rest of the representatives from Local 2068 yield their time to me, unfortunately for you. But we're going to start with a video here.
Fairfax County is consistently ranked as one of the best places to live in America. With 1 million+ residents, our population has grown over 6% in the last 5 years. We have low rates of unemployment and high rates of life expectancy. One of our strengths is a world-class fire and emergency services system, staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by Fairfax County professional firefighters and paramedics. When you call us, you're probably having one of the worst days of your life, and we are there in minutes with the right number of uniformed members and experience to help. We respond to fires, medical emergencies, rescues, hazardous materials, natural disasters, and acts of terrorism, with teams whose expertise is sought globally in times of crisis. This skill and prominence is a factor in attracting best in an all-hazards working environment. Fairfax County has invested in recruitment, training, retention, and equipment to attract the best candidates and keep this the strongest firefighting and emergency force. Key to maintaining that standard are competitive salary and benefits. And while we compete in many arenas, from last year being the #1 Fill the Boot fundraiser for muscular dystrophy, to distributing holiday toys and bringing warm coats for children throughout Fairfax, on the fire ground or at an emergency scene, we act as one team. We are proud to serve. Whenever and wherever you see Fairfax County professional firefighters and paramedics, we want to assist you and keep our neighborhoods safe and your families alive.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, Madam Vice Chairman, members of the Board, County Executive Hill. My name is Ron Kuley, and I'm honored to stand before you today as the newly elected President of the Fairfax County Professional Firefighters and Paramedics, Local 2068. What you just saw is a small glimpse of what our hardworking, dedicated firefighters and paramedics do daily, serving in our community and keeping our citizens, families, and businesses safe. Right now, in each of your districts, these incredible men and women are responding to an emergency incident, and they are taking care of a child, a mother, a sister, someone's grandfather, and we are dedicated to the people of this county. Last year, we responded to over 100,000 emergency incidents. 100,000. We always remember that when someone needs us, it is probably one of the worst days of their lives, and for that reason, we always have to be at our best. The quick response times of our people and equipment arriving on emergency incidents is a world-class service. We are a Class 1 fire and rescue department. We are only one of 5 Class 1 departments in the nation that care for a population the size of Fairfax County. And now we are completing an accreditation process where I am confident we will be successful as well. Speaking of world-class, this past year, over 200 of the brave men and women keeping our county safe were deployed to various parts of the world, internationally and domestically, as part of the elite Virginia Task Force 1 team sponsored by the USAID and FEMA programs. Our firefighters provided life-saving assistance to the victims and communities affected by hurricanes, devastating wildfires, and other disasters worldwide. The program is funded by federal tax dollars where our IAFF lobbies the United States Congress to maintain and increase that funding. It is important to note when those firefighters are dispatched to international emergencies, their positions back here in Fairfax are also covered by federal tax dollars. We express our sincere appreciation for the opportunity to address the Board in regarding to pressing matters that are essential to firefighters and paramedics, and the continued interest of public safety in our county. It truly is my privilege to be before you today, representing nearly 2,000 active and retired uniformed members and paramedics, to include civilians within all sections of the Fire and Rescue Department, our apparatus shop, fire prevention, Department of Public Safety Communications, which is our 911 call center. In fact, right now we have over 100 of our members and their families here today. I cannot be prouder of those women and men who work so hard as a highly functioning team to deliver critical fire and EMS services to our neighborhoods. They embody the words public service. while delivering public safety to families and businesses. These brave men and women disregard the most basic of human instinct, and they run into harm's way to restore some degree of normalcy when the events of their lives go completely spiraling out of control. So while our firefighters and paramedics are on the front line, so to speak, I am honored to represent our entire team. On February 20th, County Executive Hill, Brian with a Y, delivered his proposed FY19 budget. We appreciate the inclusion of that 2.25% COLA and fully funding the merit and longevity steps. We also support the 2.5-cent real estate property tax increase. This allows our residents and guests of Fairfax County to continue to receive the finest fire, EMS, and police services in the nation. It allows for our children to attend incredible schools taught by the best teachers and their support staff. It allows for excellent county services to continue by the dedicated county employees who work here in this building and in facilities across the county. We are privileged to work in a large, progressive, vibrant county of Fairfax, which is consistently rated as the best managed county in the U.S. From time to time, we must bring the concerns of our members before you. And at times, we have looked for a little more of the fair in Fairfax. Having said that, we feel that we have always been a true and equal partner in what has made Fairfax County the best county in the United States. We have done our part. We recognize that our role in the community is a very visible one, and much is expected of those that are drawn to public service. We take being leaders and role models in the community that we serve very seriously. Our union has partnered with the fire department along with the private sector throughout the years. One such program that you know about includes the Safety in Our Program, the SIOC program. It enhances the safety and well-being of our citizens while engaging the members of our department with their surrounding neighborhoods. Last year alone, we visited nearly 40,000 residences, providing nearly 5,000 smoke detectors. Many of these programs go well beyond the normal scope of our job and provide a personal connection to those we serve. The firefighters of Fairfax County not only work hard to keep people safe, they spend thousands of combined hours giving their own time to this community, giving back to the people and supporting those in need. This past year, our Fill the Boot campaign raised over $500,000, helping those families afflicted with deadly neuromuscular diseases. And I'm proud to say that is the most money a single group of firefighters raised in the nation. This is an incredible program. Our firefighters, Coats for Kids, we handed out over 1,600 new winter coats to kids throughout Fairfax County. They were in need. The children arrived at the firehouse on a school bus. They were greeted by firefighters, police, and sheriff employees, and our very active retirees. They were escorted throughout the firehouse and provided a warm coat, among other items, which included we collected several thousand toys, new bikes, and books that were handed out. The children visited with Santa, who is also a local 2068 member, and his elves too. They're members as well. During the holiday season, but they don't get no dues cuts. During the holiday season, we collected toys for Marines Toys for Tots program, and that was collected throughout the firehouses throughout the county. Our efforts were so successful, and thanks to the generosity of citizens in all of your districts, we filled multiple tractor trailers with toys. Then there was our great backpack drive, giving hundreds of children backpacks filled with school supplies at the beginning of the year, which they'll need through that beginning of the school year. We're proud to partner with our school teachers during those events. Firefighters and paramedics put in a lot of effort into these important programs throughout the year. You know, the smiles on their children are priceless, and to those that they would normally go without. We work with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention to support the Fairfax Out of the Darkness Walk. We've helped raise over $292,000 during the last couple of years. It's very important to note that every part of our membership is engaged in making all those programs a success. So whether it's issues with the budget, finding ways to promote a program with no taxpayer funds, or offering you an alternative to fund merit steps, which we did for all public safety employees about 3 years ago, the women and men that make up our union have always been willing to engage with you, the Board of Supervisors, to find the highest and best solution for all involved. In this challenging environment, the people we represent never retreated from our mission of delivering the highest quality fire service and EMS service available in our area, nor in any other state in this great country of ours. Every year, Local 2068 has that one initiative that continually generates a positive revenue for the county, and that's in the form of EMS transport billing, which has now generated over $140 million since its inception since April 2005. We implemented this program by working with you, by seeking buy-in from the citizen groups. The next fiscal year coming up, EMS billing is projected to bring in over $21 million to the general fund. This is the equivalent of over 1 penny of the real estate tax. This increase in budget revenue would not have happened without our firefighters. The men and women who keep Fairfax safe every day are asking you, the Board of Supervisors, to strongly advocate and support our budget priorities when the FY19 budget is voted on next month. We respectfully request the adoption of the following items. Fully fund the 2.25% MRA or the COLA for all county employees. Fully fund the merit and longevity steps for all eligible personnel. Maintain and fund the 18 safer positions, allowing for that continued safe staffing on our special service units. Lastly, we're honoring the commitment of eliminating the final 5% of the Social Security disability offset to our members who retired on a service-connected disability. And thank you to Supervisor Penny Gross for championing this effort to eliminate the Social Security offset. So thank you all. Thank you very much for listening. But you know I can't end with that, right? Because there's obviously one very, very important topic to talk about. We must address the topic of retirement security. First and foremost, our retirement system is funded well, and it's operating fine. It is financially sound, and the plan's actuaries do support these statements. Just ask them. There is no problem here. For those that say it is unaffordable in the future, there has been no clear evidence that this is true. In fact, any changes, even for new hires, is going to cost the county more than any real savings they were able to show in all of our committee meetings. The retirement program is the lifeblood for those who built this county and have retired, and those that work here every day providing services to our taxpayers with the hope of a basic lifestyle in retirement. I want to say clearly and boldly that the retirement programs we have in this county are a big part of the recruitment and retention of the incredible workforce that serves the people of this county, and any changes will impact those services. These retirement programs are part of a comprehensive compensation package, a package that people were promised a long time ago, and for firefighters and paramedics, they risk their lives every day to earn. So for some, this topic of retirement security makes for some great political talk. What people forget is that this kind of talk impacts services and impacts lives. I was part of the retirement work group chaired by Supervisor Gross and co-chaired by Supervisor John Cook. Members of the committee represent most of the county employees. And it sounded a little bit like our baby up there sometimes. I am just joking. I am proud to stand here today with our brothers and sisters in the police and sheriff's department, the school teachers, and our general county employees to stand united and to deliver this message. Do not mess with a very well-managed retirement system. In these meetings, we heard math formulas and numbers thrown around like baseballs. There are all types of scenarios discussed and hypothetical situations, and if we did this, and if we cut that, and if we made this happen. It was dizzying. We might be able to save a few $1 million in 15 to 20 years. A few $1 million. All of this affects people, and to that we say, why risk it? So one suggestion is that we can change the pensions for new employees, and nobody working here today would be impacted. Well, while something like this sounds good on its face, it just doesn't work. The research shows that 2 tiers of employee compensation creates a resentful work environment and has high turnover rates for those new employees. Why? Because you're asking new people to do the same job and work for less take-home pay and less pension benefit. This causes frustration, and it will drive folks to leave. Under the new plan, the county loses a single firefighter and a police officer a month and needs to find replacements on an ongoing basis. So for every firefighter that we recruit and train, it's probably $75,000 to $80,000. For medics, it's about $135,000, and for police officers, about $120,000. So let's say we lose just 1 firefighter and 1 police officer a month under a changed pension. That calculates to about $2.5 million a year in recruitment and training, and that is using the smallest number I can find for this example. In 10 years, that's $25 million. What's the result of changing the pension? It costs taxpayers more. They are losing the best and brightest workers. we're trying to retain and attract the best and brightest workers. The current retirement system is the smartest investment for our county to keep costs and the level of services at our best. Just as Fairfax taxpayers come over to our firehouses to thank us for the work that we do, we want to thank you. We want to thank you, Board of Supervisors, for the support in keeping our fire engines, ladder trucks, heavy rescue companies, and our medic units staffed with the right personnel. This is all tied to that National Fire Protection Standard. Your smart investments of the taxpayers' money has allowed us, working together to offer this community the best trained firefighters and paramedics. This translates into thousands of people being helped each year. The professional firefighters and paramedics that serve this county, my brothers and sisters that work every day serving our citizens, taxpayers, and voters, all stand before you as champions for the best interest of our county. Our history of compromise and shared sacrifice on dozens of issues year after year validate this truth and showcase that we understand the needs of the people we protect and serve. We want and need to continue our working relationship with you and the county executive. We are confident together we can overcome any of the issues we are being confronted with. And we are a proven team. Our firefighters will continue to make Fairfax County Fire and Rescue the best organization of its kind, with a level of professionalism and technical expertise that is second to none, and a county that is already great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you so much, Ron, and thank you for everyone, all of our fire and rescue, Fairfax professional firefighters and paramedics. We appreciate the work that you do to keep us safe. Thank you so much for everything you do every day. And our next speaker is Vicki Cameroon, to be followed by Libby Schreffler and then David Newhall. Welcome.
I'm David Newhall. I yield to Vicki.
Okay, yield to Vicki.
And I don't believe we'll need Libby, so I think I timed myself just right.
Okay.
Okay, great.
I'm sure.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chairman Bolova, members of the Board of Supervisors, and Brian Hill with a Y. My name is Vicki Cameroon, and I am elected Chairman of the Employee Advisory Council. The EAC represents the over 14,000 active employees in the general county, police, fire, and sheriff agencies. I am a sixth-generation native to Fairfax County. I graduated from W.T. Woodson High School in 1988, as did my parents in 1966. I take enormous pride in the fact that I was born and raised here by my mom, a Fairfax County retiree. We are Fairfax County, and we are served by an effective, efficient government which is supported by 14,000 public servants, where every decision and every action made provides value to all the citizens of Fairfax County. We continually strive for excellence and innovation. In the face of complex problems, we expect a government that will partner to overcome difficult public challenges, to uphold the values that our county was founded on, and allowing us to continue to prosper. We value and model professional excellence for a growing population of 1.1 million. We are Fairfax. 14,000 diverse, dedicated, loyal public servants provide you covenant services to the 1.1 million who call this home, and for all those that pass through, visit, and work here. I am sure that reducing and/or removing any of the services we offer is not up for discussion. As employees for Fairfax, we wouldn't want anything more than to continue to grow and expand our county to be the best and model for professional excellence for the population of the 1.1 million. In September of 2016, the Employment Cost Index, which tracks employee wage increases, was calculated. the Consumer Price Index for the Baltimore-Washington region, and the federal wage adjustment. These resulted in a 2.25% FY19 MRA calculation. We trust you, our employer. This will be funded as in the County Executive Brian Hill's advertised budget. Thank you, Mr. Hill. Since fiscal year 2009, the MRA has not been funded 4 times, which means 40% of the time the Board of Supervisors has not funded this portion of the employee compensation. The calculated MRA totaled 15.85% for those 9 years, and you, the Board of Supervisors, only funded 7.5% of that. This resulted in an 8% loss to inflation for your employees over that time frame, with additional loss for the continuing increase in health care costs to your employees. It's imperative that the Board of Supervisors fully fund the FY19 MRA for your employees. Would be falling behind inflation 1% per year of service, or 10% over the last decade. Your employees expect their employer, Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, to fully fund their implied contract of annual performance increases plus the market rate adjustment. The retirement work group met a total of 8 times since November of 2017. Before you is a list of potential changes that were discussed. These potential changes could result in savings in the normal cost to the Fairfax County between 18 and 24%, for a total of $16.38 million per year. However, these savings could never be realized until the unfunded liabilities of the retirement system reach 100% funding, which is projected to be in December of 2032, if we stay in our current strong verified system. These savings that were discussed would result in closing the timeline gap by just 6 months, becoming 100% funded in June rather than December of 2032. Not much of a savings at all. But if you are willing to take the consequences of this action and the implications to the recruitment, retirement, and retention of future employees, then 6 months savings to a strong pension plan is what you do. The proposal for raising the minimum age of eligibility to 60 drastically affects eligibility. Anyone who's hired at the age of 30 or younger would have to work at least 30 years for full retirement eligibility. In fact, an 18-year-old following the career of his or her family member would be forced to work 42 years. Surely the Board of Supervisors can't possibly find this acceptable. Raising the eligibility rule from 85 to 90 more than takes care of this concern. This example illustrates a sample ERS employee with 25 years of service, retiring at age 61, with a final average salary of $65,000. This results in a monthly annuity of $27.89, and under today's retirement system, $13.54 would be for pre-Social Security supplement. It is important for the Board of Supervisors to know that this supplement basically pays for the retiree's medical insurance. As you can see, a retiree cost for medical plan 2-party is $1,405. So the net income your current retiree would have is $2,738. However, if you took the potential change of eliminating the pre-Social Security supplement, that same employee would have only $1,195 to live on after medical insurance was deducted and prior to reaching their Social Security age. I would also like to note that for some retirees earning much less under the current system are having to write checks back to the county to pay for their health insurance, as the retirement and pre-Social Security payment does not even cover their health care. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of evaluating the cost of our health care. As we move into FY19 and beyond, I ask that you place a priority on the evaluation of the health care costs so that your employees can retire with pride, dignity, the ability to take care of themselves and their family after a dedicated career to Fairfax County. In closing, I ask that you fully fund the FY19 market rate adjustment for your employees, to proceed with extreme caution in regards to the minor retirement changes, as they will have a significant impact on your ability to recruit and retain your future employees. And my final plea is for the board to please address the health care costs that we have overwhelmed your employees and retirees. I thank you today for your time, and this presentation and speech is available online at our website. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vicki. Thank you so much, Vicki. Thank you, and great job. Appreciate your what you do for Fairfax County and all of our employees. Our next speaker is Libby Schreff.